This right here is one of the opening shots of the best Kenyan movie from 2023, filmed and directed by Daudi Anguka. Tell me if you notice something strange and unique about it. And this other shot right here happens like 15 minutes later into the film. Look closely. Anything? Okay, pause. Let's start with the first one. Daudi Anguka has mastered the art of framing a subject in a shot to the point that you have no option but pay attention to it. In the first scene, we see Mvera, the main subject, in focus. However, she doesn't make up a majority of the screen space. We have two massive blocks of pillars acting as the foreground, a burning Jiko in the background barely in focus, and another subject in frame who's not as much in focus as her, but still shares an equal space within the shot. But somehow our eyes are all focused right at her. In filmmaking, this is called framing. Framing is a composition technique that uses elements within a scene, such as doorways, branches, archways, to create a frame within a frame, directing focus towards the subject, adding depth, and providing context. This method isolates the subject, improves visual narrative, and enhances three-dimensionality. You can use shapes like circles, triangles, and in this case, a rectangle. But my favorite style from Daudi Anguka is this shot right here, where we are having a dinner. Take a look at the texture and pattern. Everyone in the shot is wearing clothes of different colors, all mixed up and hard to spot, except our protagonist Mvera. She is in an orange top, almost matching the hue of the light in the shot. Alright, incoming spoilers in 3, 2, 1. She matches the lighting because she is the only one amongst all the guests who is suspicious and curious of the situation. She has blended within the environment because she doesn't buy anything that is happening in front of her. It's almost as if, like a chameleon, Mvera chooses to blend with the background in order to root out the cancer and deception of Bwana the Beatty. This is an intentional choice between the director and the costume and set department to bring out that image to us.
何が言いたい?
You see how in all my videos, I always insist that the script is the most important part of a movie. If the story is shit, the movie is shit. That's just how it works. The script always comes first. You have a really bad problem of writing a script, the bad dialogue, and the completely stupid dog shit writing. Don't ever write another script. What happens when you are so good at your job, so much extremely perfect at directing, framing, blocking the actors, color grading, editing, and pacing, but you have been given a shit script to work with? You get this 2023 movie called Mvera.
In Kenya, I can only name 3 good movies.
Since the beginning of this,
Since 1963.
Really?
Rafiki 2018.
Okay.
Nairobi Half-Life, even though that wasn't Kenyan. And Mvera. Have you seen Mvera?
Mvera.
2023. Mvera.
Don't get me wrong, I still stick with these words. Mvera is a good film. But I think the main thing that manages to put it on the same level with these 3 other productions is its visuals. Specifically how Daudi Anguka, who happens to be the director and cinematographer of this movie, chooses to use color. Daudi Anguka delivered an almost perfect and flawless film that ticks all these boxes except this one right here, and it left a bitter taste in my mouth because I kept asking myself, what if? What if Daudi Anguka actually knew how to write a script and tweak it into something better? What if better screenwriters that aren't these 2 bozos over here were tasked with writing a better script and helping bring Daudi Anguka's vision to life actually did it? But you know what? Let's set this script thing for another video. I feel like I've done it to oblivion and I don't think it belongs here, specifically when I'm talking about Mvera. Let's talk about something good that I've seen in this movie that I don't think that I see in many productions in Kenya. Framing and color. There are 3 factors in determining color in a film: hue, saturation, and brightness. Hue, which is the color itself, saturation is the intensity of the color, and brightness, basically it's more of the shade of the color. With hue, saturation, and brightness, H has been shot, you can create a unique visual pattern and go from being a lame-ass director with no visual identity to an auteur. Color in movies are like a visual signature for the cinematographer and director. When you see this shot right here with no actors present, just background and maybe a location, you automatically know that this is a Wes Anderson movie. When you see this other shot right here, just by the colors alone, you can tell that this is a Wachowski's production, one of the 3 Matrix movies. One popular formula to simplify color design is the 60-30-10 rule. This is one of the oldest rules in art, and you can see it in everything from paintings, arts, and movies. The rule is simple. 60% of your movie is the dominant color, 30% is a secondary color, and 10% is a highlight. The dominant 60% is responsible for the mood and vibe of the movie. It needs to pop out and scream the most. The 30% secondary color always complements the majority, while the 10% adds that pop and vibrancy that forces you to focus on a subject. The reason why I call Mvera the most visually gorgeous film from a Kenyan is because cinematographer and director Daudi Anguka has mastered this art of the 60-30-10 color rule. Yo, I'm not even making this up. This is the only Kenyan movie since independence that actually has a memorable color palette. Daudi Anguka sticks to this rule. For the dominant color, he goes either white or teal. For the secondary color, he he almost always goes all shades of brown. And well, the highlight color kinda changes, but I've seen a lot of green here and there. I'm pretty sure this was not in any way subconscious and it was 100% intentional. Not only does he have a unique color palette, he integrates it with how he frames the subject. The highlight color is always center framed. So a mixture of good framing, incorporating the color palettes within everything in the shot, and an intentional stubbornness to stick to it equals the Anguka style.
Anguka now.
Like I mentioned earlier, Wes Anderson has created his own style, Andersonian formalism. Zack Snyder has the Snyder-esque, often depicted by low saturation, slow motion, and dark, moody tone. But my favorite one is Bayhem by Michael Bay. I don't know what exactly I can call Daudi Anguka style, but clearly he has a formula. Granted, I haven't watched any other of his works because I find Kenyan TV shows boring and a waste of time, but what he did in Mvera was remarkable to the point that it inspired me to have my own visual language. No, seriously, check this out. Alright, let me show you something. This is how my videos normally look before I start color grading, before I start color correcting and adding all the palettes. It looks like shit. It looks like the Kenya Kwanza government. Dull, boring, uninteresting, and depressing. But I figured something. I want people to know that they are watching a Sagini Megane review just by one shot, just by 1 second. 1 second you see this fucking fuckface on your screen, you know that this is a Sagini Megane movie review. How could I do that? How do I do that? How do I distinct myself from other normal filmmakers? I figured out, let me create my own color palette. It's mostly gray curtains, gray couch, and I mostly wear dull colors like black or gray or I don't know, with my brown skin and a prop here and there. Like today I have this teddy bear prop and mostly my Rubik's Cube. So the primary color, the main focus is this gray palette. Gray curtains, gray couch, and a gray clothing. Then I use my secondary color with my skin, brown or a different clothing that I'm wearing, and a highlight color which is normally that white shade of the wall right here, or a prop I'm carrying, or this thing right over here. Don't ask me how I got it, I just found it there. Point is, I managed to create my own 60-30-10 color palette.
So the color palette, what makes you decide that I want to use this thing, I want to go this route, I want to dress my actors this way, I want to put these lights, this hue?
One question I asked them, they should understand that we are doing a local story. And when we are doing a local story, we want the audience to fall in love with each and every department. I wanted to have shots which, for me, I won't say they are technical shots, simple, well-framed shots which bring out the emotions of each and every scene, emotions of each and every character. And even with the color palette which we were having a discussion with my colorist, I wanted everything to feel Kwale, village. I wanted my own style because when I'm doing my feeling most of the time, I create my own style and see how it will work. And for me, I think that was powerful. And after shooting that movie for a whole 1 month, working on the post-production and releasing the project, I was just getting reviews, some good reviews, because it really did well in South Africa.
The point I'm trying to make is, one of the main reasons why Kenyan movies look so bad and feel like shit is because I don't even think anyone ever takes their time to focus on this stuff on set. Believe it or not, Daudi Anguka has done 2 things that I don't think any Kenyan director will ever do. Inspire me to become a filmmaker because of how he frames his subjects and everything on screen and how he chooses to have a visual style. And number 2, like I earlier said, he is, in my opinion, the first and only ever Kenyan auteur. Maybe someday I'll actually get to review this movie and give it a proper rating and break down its plots and themes and characters and world building, but for today, all I can say is I love how this movie looks.
Na mimi kama Mvera itajiokoa mimi mwenyewe.
Alright, let me show you something. This is how my fuck. Okay. Alright, let me show you something. This is how my videos normally